Good evening to all. Today's class about answer discussion class for the test 2. In the test paper 1 already we have discussed some of the basic point of how to start the answers and what are the mistake must be avoided and how to initiate the in the introductory part and what are the methods you have to follow and how you have to understand the questions by splitting the question into two or by identifying the keywords from the questions, then how the conclusion part must be in every answers. So these are the point we have discussed in the previous lecture. So in this lecture directly we will move to the answers for each questions. Here there are two section was there in that part test 2. In this lecture we are going to discuss about the questions from section A. So directly we'll move to the question section. So this was the first question. The read it. Fayol's concern for human have a broader conception than Taylor. As I said in the first lecture, to understand the question, you have to split the question into various parts based upon the keywords. So here, two thinkers they have to mention. They have mentioned one is Fayol, another one is Taylor. And the key concept to what they are asking, who is concerning more about a human one, and indirectly or directly they are they mentioned. Wait a minute. They mentioned who views more broader than the Taylor. And sometimes the same question they may give in the different direction also, like Fayol's concern for human have broader consumption than Taylor. Do you agree? If they ask like this, then our answer might be in different way. But here, instead of asking, do you agree or not, simply they mentioned, explain about this statement, which means, as per the statement, what is it? What does it mean? Fayol is concerning more about human in broader view compared to Taylor. This is what the understanding of the question. Okay. Now, before enter into writing answer, you should know the basic concepts or basic things which are given by the Henry Fayol and Taylor. So these are the point I have mentioned. The difference, all are the basic points only, and you might have studied and learned from your coaching institutes. Once again, you can brush up those points here, as we have you have studied well about Henry Fayol and Taylor separate. Here, the first point I have mentioned, Henry Fayol is the father of modern management, and Taylor is the father of scientific management. The meaning we know, because Taylor he did his theory from scientific various experiment. Okay, that is why his theory is called scientific management theory. But Henry Fayol he derived the theory of theory for the management for from his experience, not from experiment, from his experience. He himself as a manager in many companies. So through his experience, he derived a concept which is called a management theory. That is why his theory is called that is why he is called father of modern management, and Taylor is called father of scientific management. Then he gave 14 management principles. For what purpose? For efficiency of the organization. And Taylor, he gave 4 management principles for increasing the productivity indirectly to increase the profit. Then Henry Fayol, he focused the top level management. And like that, in opposite, the Taylor, he focused lower level workers. This is what, because in Taylorism, you might have studied to whom he was concerning more with so many experiments he did. This is what the first point I mentioned. He derived the theory from his personal experience. That is why he is called a father of modern management. But Taylor, he derived the theory through his various experiments. That is why it is called scientific management. Then Henry Fayol theories covers or talks about the entire management, or uh, Taylor's theory talks about the management who is working and the management which is in the most operating part, or operating work is done by the lower level workers. And the sixth one, the difference is the attention. He gave attention on activities of all managers. This is what almost these fifth one and the sixth ones are similar, because he covers entire organization as a whole. But Taylor, again, these 2 points we can make combined. Taylor, he concerned the first line of manager. This is what the same point which is mentioned in the third. He concentrate on lower level workers, and he highly focused on the operation side, and that is similar to concerning the first line of the managers. Then in the seventh difference, he focused on improving overall administration. This is what entire organization, entire administration, like that. But Taylor, he focused only to the productivity through various methods, or which is called simplification and standardization of the procedures. Then the eighth one, he contributed, the Henry Fayol contributed on a systematic theory of management, but here his theories are also called science of industrial management. Okay. Then Henry Fowler, he had a clear distinction between the operational activities and the managerial activities. He did not overlap, he did not mix with both. But Taylor, he concerned the operational activity. So because of that, he considered human is a machine. Okay, this concept is also called the economic man concept. He has to produce more, his productivity must increase, his efficiency must increase, so that the economic condition of the plant or factory will improve a lot. This is what his view. Then at last he was concerning more on the unity of command, but it was rejected by Taylor. Instead of unity of command, he introduced another one concept, that is functional foremanship. It is also called functional authorities, which means around eight boss he set up, okay, for planning and for execution. So this is what the main difference between Henry Fayol and Taylor. Now with this basic view and basic knowledge, we have to move further to answer the above question. Anyway, one or 2 points you can derive from this difference from between the Fayol and the Taylor to write the answer to the question. Because once again you read the question, Fayol is concerning more for human, and his view is very broader than the Taylor. In opposite, you can read Taylor's view is narrow compared to Fayol's in concern with humans. This is what in opposite direction. So here I mentioned here, if you see the difference from both the side, some of the points we can sense that someone is more concerned towards the human, someone is less concerned to the human. For example, you can take the point number 9. In that, Taylor is considering human as a machine. So this is his narrow view about the human. One point we can write from this point. Then he's another one point, from the fourth, the fifth and sixth and seventh, he was considered the entire organization as a whole, and he was talking overall efficiency, overall performance of the management or organization. So his view is broader, his view is narrower, because he had limited his thought within one small area, that is a lower level workers. So 2 points we can observe from the difference one. So second, the next slide we will discuss about the 14 management principles of Henry Fayol and the 4 management principles of Taylor. From that principles, we can write some more supportive answer to the questions, because These principles, what are the principles are concerning more on humans, and what are the principles are showing broader view in Taylor's, in Fayol's case, and what are the principles among the four management principles given by the Taylors, which of them are showing an narrow view. This is what we have to give explanation. So we'll move to the next one. So this is already I discussed understanding the question. That means the explanation of the question I have given, meaning of the question, the thinking or views of Fayol in concerning about the human is broader than Taylor. This is what the meaning of the question. If you did not read the question twice or thrice until you get the essence of the question, then your answer will deviate from the question. Okay, that is why you have to keep on read. And while writing the answer from the introduction to till your conclusion, the question must be remained in your mind, so that again the demand of the question will be fulfilled through your answer. Okay. Now, come to the point. Here, the 14 points or 14 principles of management given by Henry Fayol is here, and 44 principles of scientific management given by Taylor is here. One by one, we can discuss. And this is a purely theoretical part you must have studied. Okay. But now here I am going to explain which of the principles are related to broader view or related to concerning more on human. That is what we need. Okay, instead of giving writing all this explanation in the answer part. Okay, because I have corrected some of the students answers. Everybody, not even one candidate wrote in the questions point of view, because simply they start discussing about the Taylors and Henry Fayol's about their principles and about the four principles of scientific management. Not like that. You have to interrelate, or you have to align with the question from the whatever the theory you have learned. For example, here one by one. Once again, you read all these things or recall. Already you have studied in the 14 points of principle of management. These are the things are there. And to remember, these are the points you imagine about one organization. In that organization, if you are a manager, what are the decisions you will implement, you will take, and what are the principles? If suppose these are the 14 point principles are there, which are the principles you will apply in that where you are appointed as a manager? Like that, you yourself assume as a manager and read. Then you no need to muck up these things one by one after another. The same thing is the Taylor also. Okay, so here, so first one is the division of work. So division of work, everything I made it in very small words. It's nothing but a group of workers, or in the textbook language we can say specialization of workers. Okay, because of the group of workers or specialization of the workers, how the work done will be that will be get over, and what about that, how the efficiency will improve. This is what you might have discussed. So the first one is the division of work. Then authority. So who is having authority to pass the order, to pass the command? Okay, that authority is nothing but, as per the Henry Fayol view, it's the right to issue command. So authority is the one more principle. If no one is there, then every workers and will do as per their own way. So someone must be there to pass the order, to command, to issue the command. So second one is authority. Then discipline. Discipline nothing but it's a obey and respect the rules of the organization. Okay, breaking the rules or disobeying the organization. And indirect, if you are disobeying, means indirectly you are disobeying, not respecting to your boss or your authority to whom you are receiving the command. Okay, so discipline. So now these three are interlinked. Okay, what are first division of work? You are under one certain group. In that group, one boss will be there. So who is having the authority to pass the command or issue the command? Then in that group, whoever working under him, they have to obey the authority. So that is the third one is discipline. After that, the fourth, the unity of the command. That means only one boss is in your group. If you are in a specialized group, you should not get order or command from someone from outside. So unity of a command is important. If it is comes from outside, then you cannot work properly to this side and for that fellow also. So that is why unity of command is important. It was mentioned by him. Then unity of the direction, almost similar. Unity of command and unity of direction, which means the one head and one plan. If you are if one action is devoted or one action is given to one particular group, means in that group or in that project only one head is there, and for that one purpose only they have to work. So these are the first. So division of work, authority. The authority must be accepted in terms of discipline. Then in every group there is a unity of the command, only one boss, and then unity of the direction. Then sixth one, the subordination of individual interest to general interest. Okay, once you got the project or once you got the work, you should not show your interest there. Your interest should not be the interest of your organization. That is what the sixth one. So which means one employee interest is not the interest of the organization. So now then seven. Okay, these are all up to six. You can make it as a one layer in the sense. Okay, you got the division, you got the authority, and you are asked to discipline, and you are get a command, and you are directed to work, and at the same time you are advised to keep your interest aside and concentrate on the common interest or collective interest of the organization. If you are doing like this, then you will get a remuneration. That's the seventh one. So remuneration in the sense fair and affordable satisfaction. Okay, fair and affordable satisfaction. Now, once again, I'm remembering you just to think about the keep the question in your mind. So, seven principles we have come across. In that seven principle, which of the principles are supporting or more favorable or more concerning human being? So you just keep in that keep it in that way also. Then eighth, okay, then eighth, centralization. Centralization in this means the degree of initiative left to the manager. So one person is having the authority, he is having the power to decide or to take the decision or to pass the order and all. So centralization. Then scalar chain, which means it talks about a hierarchy. These are lines of authority of superiority from whom the order has to come. So scalar chain and the order. So eighth one, ninth one, and 10th one. These three are somewhat interrelated. Centralization, okay, accumulation of all the work in one person or one central unit, from where the line of authority is coming, that is scalar chain, and from that order is coming. So order, you know, two different types of order is there: material order and social order. It is nothing but everything must be in order, whether it's a person or whether it's a things. If it is if persons or workers are in order, means from what type of work which is allotted to them, they must be there, and certain things or certain product must be placed in the right place, right allocated place. So this is what talks about order. In simple, we can say right place at the right time. Okay, if in lunch time, if someone is working, that's not good. That's not a proper order. And in the leisure time they are working, or lunch, in the working time they are doing lunch. So this is not the irregular, or it is not in the order way. So they have to maintain the order. This is what. Then 10th one talks about equity. It's a common one. So based on the kindness and justice. So now one small example I can, one hint I can give. You take the principle, 11th principle, equity. So equity, it's concerning more on human, which means it treats everyone equally in kind and justice manner. Okay. Then stability of tenure. Again, it concerning about human. Okay, stability of tenure and initiative. It gives a freedom to employee to take some initiative, some planning. So 13, initiative. Then 14 is the team spirit. Esprit de corps, the team spirit. So collectively you all together and work together. So in that some social things will grow. So from these 14 principles, pick up the main principles and give the explanation as per the questions. Okay, so once again you read the 14 points. First we up to sixth principle, one section. That means division of work. After division, you are getting authority from whom you are going to get command. Then you have to accept the authority, that is called discipline. And then you are the in your group, everybody should come. You should get a unity of command, common command, or unity of direction. That means one head or one plan. Then all of them in the group interest must be the interest of organization. Self-interest you should keep away. Then if you are doing like this, then you are getting the remuneration. Then so up to 7. So next to 7 is talks about the management side, centralization, then scalar chain, then order, equity, the stability of tenure, then initiative, and express the corps. So it talks that nothing but team spirit. These are the 14 points of the principle of management given by the Henry Fayol. Now come to the scientific management theory, which is given by Taylor. So here, in everything is very theoretical views are very broader, but concentrated in very narrower. For example, development of true science. Okay, the statement itself gave a broader view, but implementing the scientific implementing it by developing the theory through scientific method, then he has to concentrate, or he has to done through the experiment. Okay, and if you want to do the experiment, then you need the qualified workers. You have to investigate the workers who are working there. So in the broader statement but narrower work done, we can say in the case of Taylor. Then in second principle is the scientific selection of workers. So you have to choose the workers by studying their aptitude, their nature, and their performance. So this is scientific selection of workers. And scientific education and development of workers. That means how you are going to give training. Then intimate and friendly cooperation between the management and man to improve the efficiency or improve the productivity level. So these are the 4 principles which is given by Taylor. So now, so understood all these things. Now, one model answer I have given. In the last lecture, I said how to start the introduction. So introduction, you can start from the question itself. Every question, if you read twice or thrice, you will get a view to start the answers. Okay. So once you start answer, the content, in the content portion, you must have the collective information in your mind. So here, simply I have started. Henry Fayol and Taylor both use scientific approach, very simple language. Okay, this is not a very bombastic manner approach to the problems of management. Then their difference was in their orientation. Okay, so both are giving scientific approach for the problem, but their direction is different. One fellow did through the experiment, another person gave the theory through his experience. So, and Fayol gave attention on the activities of all the managers. This is what we have seen, and in the organization. But Taylor concerned with the first line of workers. See, we discussed in the first second slide. So both of them gave various principles, that is to improve the efficiency and to increase the productivity of the organization. So this is one type of introduction. You can start in some different ways also. Then in the content side, these are in the content side. Henry Fayol's 14 principles of management gave broader view of concerning human in an organization. Actually, the question I have given on statement, I'm going to support this statement from his principles. So first I have taken the division of work. In the division of work, it concerns about the specialization of the employee to acquire skill and become efficient, which means once you are specializing your employee, then they will get enough confidence and their skill will improve. So it is not only improving personal skill, or indirectly it will improve the efficiency of the organization, and they will also feel more efficient. So which means it's concerning about the human one. And then he advised to provide fair remuneration for employee satisfaction. Now think about Taylor. Taylor also, he also provide remuneration, but it is fully or purely in the form of his work, based on his work, how much production or productivity he is given. Based on that one, he will give reward in terms of money. But here, it is employee satisfaction, they are the remuneration will be paid. Okay, and in his principle, of material order ensure each employee clean and safe environment. I said two type of order, a material order and social order. Social order talks about the person must be there at right place at right time, talks about the human. At the same time, the material order, it ensure the employees clean and safe environment. Okay, suppose if you enter into any organization where the dangerous things or legal things are here and there, then it will harmful to the employee. Or if the maintenance is not being done properly, then it will affect the human's health, the person or employee's health. So that is why the he through the one of the principle called order, in that material order give ensure or talks about the clean and safety environment to the employee, which means indirectly this principle concerning more on the human one. Then equity. Equity is one of the best principle by concerning more on human. So equity is the greater than justice. It's a common statement I wrote. So managers should maintain kindness and fair treatment towards the employees. This is what we have seen in the previous slide. The kindness and fair treatment towards the employee. Then Fayol advised the managers to secure much initiative from the employee. This concept is absent in the Taylorism. Okay, that means a freedom to propose a plan and a freedom to execute the plan by the employees. It is not possible in the case of Taylorism. Okay, this is what, because in the case of Fayol, he concerned everything in the and collectively he was concentrating more on the organization altogether. This is what you can also mention this statement in the answer. So now, so one part of the answer I completed. In the second part, we should talk about Taylor, and we have to justify that Taylor view is narrower than Fayol view. So here what I have written, but the father of scientific management, indirectly it is talks about Taylor gave narrow view about the human in his scientific management theory. So some of the principle I have mentioned, that is in Taylorism, dehumanized the industry and made workers automated and they affected with physiological and neurological problems. This is one of the criticism of the Taylorism. Same, simply you can put it over here and you can give furthermore explanation how physiological and neurological problem they are facing, which means it is not giving guarantee to the health of the employee. One, and human relations were rejected, which means you could not able to make a relationship within your group. Okay, but in the case of Henry Fayol, that team spirit is the one of the principle which with collective work. So collective work means the collective thought will be shared. Then it come to the Taylor again. His theory concerned more on productivity, profit, and efficiency of the organization. This is because Taylor is only fully concentrated on productivity, efficiency, the profit, these things. And one more criticism also there in the Taylorism, the profits are not shared to the employees. It will be taken by the top level managers, but it is not. But Taylor did not talk about the profit sharing towards to the employee. So these are the point. Through this point, you have to justify that Fayol is having broader view than the Taylor view. So like that you have to conclude the answer also. I think you understood well in the first question. We will move on to the second one. Second one, it's a very easy question. Emphasis of importance of training in administration is significant to contemporary administration. Okay, this is a very simple one. Many students, they wrote well. So directly you can read the introduction I have written. The definition of training is the process of what? Developing skills and habits and knowledge and aptitude in employees. For what purpose? Purpose of increasing the effectiveness of the employees in their present government position, or you can add in the private organization also. Then for what purpose we have to go for these things? As the scope of public administration is expanded, it's the first unit, the first topic. As the scope of public administration is expanded, for what? Due to globalization. Again, it is one of the globalization, also one of the topic in the first unit. So due to globalization and population explosion and the contemporary political culture, this is also one of the topic in the paper 2. It is necessary to give significant importance to training in the administration. Okay, so writing introduction, no need, because many students cannot able to finish the answer all the questions because of the delay in initiate the answer. Keep on, they will think 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it will keep on go 3 minutes, 4 minutes, given what to write, how to start, from where to start. No, immediately after seeing the question, immediately you can start the answer. Immediately you can start writing the introduction, because question itself will support you. Content is somewhat difficult, because content you need a preparation, and you need wide preparation. You cannot rely on the particular coaching institute. Okay, they will give some 1-2% or 3% only. It will support you. Other than all the current issues, wherever other textbook or some important articles from the, for example, journals. So where you have might have copied certain points related to certain topics. So those things will help you to build the content. But introduction and conclusion, it is must be come through the practice. You mean very fast. You have to complete it. So now, okay, come to the answer. So this is what the introductory portion. The next, we have to give for what purpose training is needed. Why it is giving importance, which means the need for innovation in administration. You can write this in bulletin point or in paragraph portion, paragraph way also, format also. Which means the following points are needed, or following points are talks about the importance of the training in the administration. So point number 1, the innovation in administration, then the rapid expansion of the governmental functions. So how government function is increased because of the welfare state and because of digitalized era, because of the globalized era, how the governmental function has been increased or expanded. So in that, what type of training is needed? And if under this condition, under this modern government or modern management, modern management time period, traditional administration or traditional way of training was it sufficient or not? So these things you should discuss. And the shortage of the trained personnel must be fulfilled, replaced with the skilled personnel in the administration. So these are the purpose. Why? The importance of training in the administration. And now the second portion is importance of training in the administration is more important or more significant to the current administration. That's the answer you have to give. So these are the various points. It's a very common points only. For what purpose the current administration training is needed? Because uniformity of the work process. Otherwise, each one will do in their own different way of working style. The new hire orientation, new employees will inducted into the new system. So for them, they should understand about the administration at the lower level and the higher level. Okay, in simple, you can highlight the every time after the selection process, all the bureaucrats or all the young officers are trained in with respect to their selection grade. Okay, whether it's IPS or IRS or IFS or IAS. So initially they are trained with respect to their work cadre or what they have opted. Then improvement in performance. This is to show to increase their efficiency or performance in their work. Training is needed. And employee satisfaction. Okay, they should satisfy themselves that okay, at least we are updating or at least we are learning something more, and we are keep on trained by the various levels of person, various levels of organization or training. And to increase the productivity of organization or administration, then obviously it will improve the skills and knowledge of the administrator. And once you got the enough knowledge and enough skill, then you will feel the higher responsibility. Okay. Also, you will feel more productive member of the organization. So these are the points you have to discuss to this question. And this is one side. Then in the negative side, what it will negative side in the sense it will reduce wastages, it will reduce supervision, because if 10 persons are there, if 10 persons are trained very well, then one more person is not needed to supervise whether these 10 administrators are working well or not. So if everybody is working properly, then there is no work for the supervisor. So that is why it reduces supervision. Then it updated with the technology. Okay, if you are not training, if you are not giving proper train as per the current trend, then it is very difficult to handle the administrative problem. Okay, in the updated technological world. These are the points or common points need to be discussed, and some supportive points you have to give from the various documents. For example, ARC talks about the training, personal training. So he just talks about comprehensive training. Then Herbert Simon also he has talked about training. So these points, that means one answer in diverse view. So as per the Simon view, he said training consists of those conscious effort that are directed towards same to whatever we saw there. He had concluded into one whole statement towards the improvement or increase of person's power, skill, or understanding and development of his beliefs and value. Okay, just simply make up and write his view in the answer. Then in conclusion, you can administrator should be trained as per the modern trends, because traditional training is not enough or not sufficient in the fast changing in administration. And some more point also you can mention like the expanding administrative functions and the pandemic situation, unexpected uncertainty, things in the administration and political changes. So these things you can mention it in the conclusion part. Okay, this is what about training, and I request everyone to complete this chapter in the book called this one, Mohit Bhattacharya book, where in the personal administration chapter number 17, I think, in that one 4 or 5 pages are there regarding training and purpose of training and the types of training. So finish it up, because it can be asked in the first paper and second paper altogether. So he has given very nicely. Even I have taken these quotes, Simon views, these things are I have taken from his book only. So 2-3 times you keep read that topic from the Mohit Bhattacharya book, the new horizon of public administration. Okay. So we'll move to the third question. This is somewhat tricky or difficult, because you have to critically examine with the scientific management with reference to its criticism by Simon and Mark. Understanding of this question is in reverse way. You read the Simon and Mark, they criticized the scientific management theory. That's all. So their criticism we have to examine in critical way. Not only simply examine, we have to examine in the critical way. So this is what we have to give answer. So before starting start the answer to this question, we have to know the scientific management, the concept of scientific management, which was given by Taylor and Taylorism, and what was the criticism was given by Simon and Mark. These things you have to remember. For example, Taylorism, it is a product of a series of experiment and observation. That is what Taylor is. Taylor, what he did. And the division of labor concept was there in the Henry Fayol, but he divided the labor in undemocratically. Undemocratically in the sense, simply he split the group into various group, and you have to do this work, mean that work. Then you might have studied about the concept of soldering. Okay, those who are low-level persons are separated, or the low level means lower efficiency people are separated from the group. Okay, so they divide the labor undemocratically. Then the gain of higher productivity. This is what I said. the gain of higher productivity not shared with the workers, which is called imbalance of power. Okay, but in the case of, once again, remember the Henry Fayol, there the remuneration is satisfied based on the employee satisfaction, but here is not like that. Again, then certain concepts which are given by the Taylor, like a division of labor, employee selection, and their training, supervision, and scientific evaluation. So these points you keep in your mind, and how these points are criticized by Simon and Mark. That answer you have to give. So one point I mentioned, for them to whom, Simon and Mark, the classical theories, also called scientific management theory, wrongly assumed that the human being in an organization was passive instrument. Passive instrument means inactive. Inactive. Okay, not there. They do not consider the human being in the organization as an active element. They consider as a passive element. Passive element in the sense is similar to a mechanistic way, or similar to an animal. Like, okay, whatever work has been allotted to you, you just concentrate on work, irrespective of your physiological condition. Okay, and reacting toward external stimulus, which means they may have so many problems externally, that is societal pressure, or in the at home. Okay, other financial pressures are there. It won't be included. It won't bother about those things. That is why. So that is why this is what a classical theory. Okay, this is what highlighted or focused by the Simon and Mark. So this point you have to give as one of the answer. For them, the classical theories wrongly assumed that the human being in an organization was a passive instrument reacting to an external stimulus. The mean, or you can stop the statement as a passive element or passive instrument. And next, again, some more points. The classical theory ignores the conflict of interest, then the individual constraints, the man's ability to know and develop ideas. This is to know and develop ideas, nothing but the initiative is one of the principle of Henry Fayol. And the need for elaborating and amending management program, it is impossible, because even if you are not permitted to initiate anything, then how you will get um, a permission to amend the management program. So these things are not to the lower level workers. And the classical theory wrongly assumed one more thing: the perfect knowledge of all the market condition, and wrongly trust profit maximization as the goal. Okay, so simply the classical theory's main aim is maximization of the profit. That's all, irrespective of the condition of the workers. Again, Simon and Mark, what they said, scientific management as the physiological organization theory. This is what I said, because it concerns only the range of workers' behavior which pertain to production. Everything is in terms of production, in terms of profit. This is what the Taylorism. Okay, everything. And Simon was particularly interested in how the management techniques, personal policies, procedure, and training tools, specialized roles, criteria for assessing the accuracy and efficiency, and the communication process directly, indirectly influences the decision-making process. So in Taylorism, decision-making process is completely absent, we can say. Okay, it is cannot be done by the operative work or lower level workers. So this you have to highlight. So the introduction I have given, the scientific management is a management theory that examines workflows to improve economic efficiency, especially labor productivity. Taylorism is often used for the term scientific management, which is the product of a series of experiment and observation. Same thing I mentioned there. Simon and James Mark are the famous behavioralists who described organization as a functional, specialized, goal-seeking, and decision-making structure. Okay, this is what that means. The first point I have highlighted what scientific management is. Okay, that means fully only for labor productivity, and again it is related to Taylorism. The theory is also called Taylorism. So Taylorism often used for the term scientific management. What is that? It's a product of series of experiment only and observation. So the first part of introduction is for Taylor, and second part in the introduction is for Simon and James. What they are, who they are, and what was their aim in the organization. Then next paragraph onwards, whatever the point I have mentioned, you can write one by one. Why, how they have criticized. Okay, how they have criticized the scientific management theory, and that you are going to examine that also in the critical way. Okay, this is what the question number 3. Then the fourth question was simple one. That is why I did not include it, because everybody wrote well. For example, the departmentalization, the 4 different P's in the Indian administration. So I'm moving to question number 5. It is a UPSC paper, 2018 May it was asked, and now in every test I'm giving two UPSC questions and my own questions to know the difference, or to understand the essence of the UPSC questions, which are similar or totally different from each other. For that purpose, I'm giving UPSC questions. Otherwise, if all the questions are self-made, means the training itself will get deviation. But if one of the questions I have included in the test series from the UPSC, which then automatically it will give one signal to us that okay, questions are like that only. Questions are used to be like this. So my preparation style and my answer writing style also related to the way the questions are asked by the UPSC. For that purpose, I'm including the UPSC questions in every test paper. So see the otherwise many coaching institutes simply they gave the direct questions as in the name of practice. It is not a healthy one. Why it is not a healthy one means, if you see the last 3 years of public administration question paper, yeah, they are not direct questions. All are interlinked. Every chapter is interlinked. Okay, that is why you have to write the answers, choose the question in such a way that the question itself will make you to think, and the question will not make you to motivate you to start the answer immediately. Then the question is somewhat not a valid one. Okay, the question itself make you to think, not think in one way, the different way, and not in one thinker with respect to another thinker. Okay, this is what type of answer writings and selection of questions are needed. So now come to the question. The concept of rationality. See, every word is important. See, the concept of rationality. So you must know what is rationality first, and efficiency, how the both are interlinked, and all together how they are interlinked or intertwined, where in the bureaucratic analysis. So it was given by the Max Weber. So these are, so split the question into according to your view. So concept of rationality and efficiency are intertwined. This is one part we can say. And in where it is intertwined in the bureaucratic analysis. So who gave the Max Weber gave? So we must know very well about the bureaucratic theory of Max Weber. At the same time, the basic concept about rationality. Okay, and rationality already you will cover the human behavioral theory also. And so in the introductory part, to give what is rationality, why it is important, how it is linked with the bureaucracy. This is what you have to mention. So some of the basic concept I have given here related to rationality. So rational action aimed at controlling uncertainty. Okay, if you are in the uncertainty situation, then your action must be based on the rational. Then only you can control the situation. Why it is happening? Is it true? Even if your body is reacting in different way, then you have to raise a question. Okay, why is okay something happening? Oh, because of this one only. So no need to get panic. So you are applying the reason behind what you are facing the problem. So that is what rational action. And how this rational action was highlighted or explained by the Weber. So Weber gave the formal rationality, what it is. it talks about means and end relationship. Okay, one is the another reason. And real rationality, which concern with the increasing theoretical dominance of reality in the authority, in that authority results from the rules, which means real life may the it is concentrating or it is concerned with the theoretical dominance of reality in how it is dominating in the real life. Authority results from rule. That means authorities are deriving their power through rules or from rules. So what rule says, they have to act accordingly. And why rules are formed, that is the rational one. That is the reason. Because the rules are formed because of the reason. So you have to follow blindly. And this is what Max Weber gave the ideal instruction to the bureaucrats. So now, okay, this is what. Now, second, you can use this statement, the rationalization, as the one of the introductory part. Rationalization enhance the design of modernity. How? By enabling the application of the general principle of reason to the conduct of human being, by raising the capacity to respond to unstable environment in the administration. Actually, definition of the statement is this one. Okay. In the first statement, simply I mentioned rational action is aiming for or helping to control the uncertainty. How it is controlling the and here uncertainty, I have mentioned unstable environment in administration. So here uncertainty in administration or in personal life or within our body or within our social groups, many things we can go for it. But here simply further I extended, it gave a capacity to respond, to answer to unstable environment in the administration. So in the administration point of view, the introduction can be written with the concept of, by using the concept of rationalization. One. Then rationality consists of a set of social actions governed by reason or reasoning and calculation. This is what the speciality of the rationality. Okay, what actually it is. Okay. Then Max Weber proposed the concept of bureaucracy in a context, in which he considers rationalization of the society as inevitable, because it is cannot be no, we cannot separate the rationalization from the society. It is there. Okay, so that is why he wanted to make bureaucracy as one of the rational bureaucracy. The reason I have, because bureaucracy is a phenomenon of affirmation of the rationalization of the world. Okay, this statement you can simply mention in different way, because the bureaucracy is the main rationalization. No need to leave this statement. Okay, next one. The rationality forms a large part of the rational legal authority, and there are several characteristics that Weber considered as aspects of the rationality. That means Weber, he gave some of the characteristics if the bureaucracy is rational. So that's all in the way every textbook they have highlighted. So those characteristics you have to highlight in your answer. Like what are the characteristics? The characteristics of the Weber's legal rational bureaucracy as follows. What are they? Official business is conducted on a continuous basis. Now you raise a question. If not, what will happen? If official business is not conducted on a continuous basis, then what will happen? What are the problem it will face? Okay, whether the file will move or not. If files are not moving, then no approval. If no approval means the projects are in the pending. If projects are delaying, then the cost, allotted cost will be increasing. Okay, then for what purpose of the project has been initiated, that was not fulfilled. So if it is delaying again 2-3 times or 2-3 years or again further, then after that, if they are starting the work, then that time the work is not relevant, not useful for the public. So this is what. So these are one of the rational bureaucracy. The first character is the official business is conducted on a continuous basis. Then second, an administrative agency functioning through stipulated rules. That means rule-based administration. In simple, we can say. Even if you become IAS, IPS, you are deriving power from the rule. And those rules are given by you through act. Those acts are getting authority from the constitution. So see how it is getting its support. So entire administration, and you can also say in different way that all the rules, all the act, all even constitution, they gave these things to the bureaucracy means there is a reason. There's a reason behind the rules. That is why it was there. So this is what highlighted by Weber's bureaucracy model. And it was criticized by other thinkers. The ideal bureaucracy is not possible. Ideal bureaucracy will affect these things. But every criticism have the solution here and there. That is what Weber is highlighting. Like then third one, every official and every office is a part of hierarchy of authority. That is true. Even you might have seen. Okay. Then hierarchy is highlighted in Weber's bureaucracy. Then officials do not own the resources necessary for rendering their duties, but they are accountable for the use of official resources. Okay, that means you should not personalize the public resource or government resources. That's all. At the same time, even though if you are not personalizing the resources, but you are the responsibility for that, or you are the answerable for that, the official resources under your control. Then administration is conducted on the basis of written document. This is the most powerful the characteristics we can say, because some years back, even high courts or Supreme Court, they highlighted to the bureaucrats, instructed or advised the bureaucrats, whatever the order you are receiving from your political authority, you take it or get it in the written format, so that you will not trapped, or you will not get into problem. This is what. So same question, if they are asked the current contemporary situation, the Weber's bureaucracy model is still existing or still useful, means this is one of the characteristics you can highlight. That means administration is conducted on the basis of written document. Okay. Then he thought that legal rational bureaucracy is technically superior than all other administrative system. Okay. Why? Because people once ruled by bureaucracy can never think of any other alternative method of authority. It can also attain maximum efficiency as it is considered as an ideal type. Okay, his bureaucracy model is ideal type of bureaucracy. The technical superiority also achieved through various training programs. Okay, this is what one of the state passage I have mentioned, how his rational bureaucracy is fulfilled, and how the drawback or problems are overcome. And this is one, the introduction, simple introduction I have written for the the fifth question. So, as I said, introduction, you can start from the question itself. Question itself is about you to write introduction. Here I have rationality is one of the keywords. So, directly I mentioned rationality has been recognized as a major theme in Max Weber's work. According to him, rational type of domination exists in the bureaucracy because it does things in more precise and efficient way to solve the problems. And he also emphasized the rationality is necessary for the organization to operate efficiently. Then you continue the point which was explained by me here as per the number of words requirement. So this is what the explanation for this question. This is what all about the how you have to build the answer for these questions. And in the next, some of the general instruction also I wanted to discuss. I was mentioned in the circular regarding the test series and all. Some of the many students, they face the problem of writing their answer within the short duration, because as per the old schedule, I have given every 3 days one test is there. At the same time, daily tests also going on. But now for 1 week, I did not provide any questions for the daily writing and practice, because of that, those who are writing answer to the writing answer from the subscribed category, it is difficult for them to give proper attention. That is why I did not give. And uh, daily answers, I have one more problem I faced. Okay, in the beginning, the many students, they did not having the how basic things to follow once while you are writing the answer. But after that, after 2 3 weeks, they improved a lot. Now only one thing is needed. Those who are writing the answers and the daily answers, they have to collect the content, and the content must be related to or aligned to the question which you are asked. Okay, so questions, so many, even though if you are for them, those who are not subscribing, you can take any questions from the previous question paper and write the answer and send it to my mail ID. And whenever I am having the time, I will correct it and give it to you back. But those who are subscribed, some students did not take that test, but it should not be like that. You have to be, you are paying, so you are also responsible and accountable for your own money, because those who are studying optional public administration means you have to be act accordingly. Okay, because every thinkers and every chapters, it is for you. You are the one, you have to imbibe whatever the things are there. You should not study the subject is different and your personal life and personal preparation is different, not like that. Other option is okay. Other option, some are taking sociology and or geography. For them, they could not relate it to their personal life. But public administration, everything is personal only, because you are going to be the administrator tomorrow. So if you are not that much efficient as it was expected by the Taylor, or if you are not following the principle which was given by the Henry Fayol, and if you are not ideal way of working in during the preparation like it was given by the Weber, then then it will reflect in different way when we are sitting in the 2021 age. So that is from the beginning itself, you put your effort anyhow for this one. And from my side, one small modification I wanted to do in the next test series onwards. Instead of giving in the schedule, I have mentioned every 3 days you are getting 10 questions. Instead, every 1 week, 10 questions will be provided. So modified timetable I will give, and the answer booklet will be sent to your place. Uh, uh, place with place actually 8 or 10 revision tests are there. That will reach to your place of 5 days or 10 days before. Two different set I will send, and it was with the sealed cover. So with respect to the date, you can open that and you can go open that and you write the answer, and again you send it to back. After correction, once again you will send it to back. Okay, correcting your paper on the software, it is not a good means for you. You will not feel that much that much friendly nature to revise. And if I want to give, so one more professor or that retired IAS officer, it is a manual copy, it is too better. Okay, so that is why, okay, that I will mention clearly before sending the answer booklet to your respective address. But tomorrow or day after tomorrow, by tomorrow evening, you will get a new schedule based on the topics which was already given. Topics won't change, but only the time duration will change, because we have enough time. That is why I wanted to make it. We should, both of them should get enough time for the preparation and to evaluate your answer. So those who are not subscribed, also you subscribed it because it is helpful. And next test series onwards, the discussion class won't be available for everyone. Okay, so do well, all the best. Any doubt, you can put it in the text box. I will explain.